Welcome to Struggling to Succeed. This week, we're going to talk about the idea of focusing on your strengths. Focusing on your strengths sounds fairly obvious and simple. However, I think it's a lot more difficult than what it sounds. Let me explain that. To dive a little bit deeper into this subject, I want to rewind back to my years in school. I didn't particularly enjoy school. I didn't really think the education system worked for my personality and who I was. Now, some of that is probably due to my own mindset and attitude as a kid, along with the actual school system. The reason why I bring this up is I definitely think this idea of focusing on your weaknesses was born out of my years at school. If you weren't very good at French, you had to do more French. If you weren't very good at math, you had to do more math. If your reading wasn't very good, you had to go to extra reading classes. Because this idea that focusing on your weaknesses is going to help you improve. It might have a little bit of sort of logic behind that. This person or this kid or this child needs to learn better reading and math skills, so let's put him into more classes. But for me, that didn't really work because I didn't like math or English. Really didn't like them at all. So what you were doing by putting me into those classes was making me more frustrated about learning and making me more frustrated about my weaknesses, that they became bigger issues in my life. Focusing on your weaknesses just makes you more involved with your weaknesses. But yet, if you focus on your strengths, you can build on those strengths, and then those strengths can give you confidence, which then might help you improve your weaknesses. The reason why I feel this is true is that now that I am learning as an adult, I am only learning things or subjects that I'm interested in. Now, I still struggle with reading. I am not a super fast reader. But for my whole life, people put books in front of me and told me to read. But I had no interest in those subjects. I didn't want to read them. I didn't want to read fantasy books, or I didn't want to read books on this or that or the other things. So I didn't read. I started reading about the personal development industry. And because a lot of those books, those functional books, they have tips and strategies and techniques that you can directly pull from the page and implement into life, all of a sudden I was excited about reading. All of a sudden I was like, and it wasn't even reading, it was just the idea of learning these new techniques. And now in the last 2 or 3 years, which I've mentioned before in some of my other videos, I've probably read 50 or 60 books. I didn't even read probably 20 books in my whole life before that. Yes, counting the textbooks at university and some of the books we had to read at school, but a lot of the times I wouldn't even read the books at school, and I would just avoid talking about them in class and try to not to be one of the kids that the teacher, picks on to discuss, to get back on point, because I found a subject that I was interested in. And it's a strength of mine. I personally think that taking ideas and philosophies and trying to implement them in my life is something that I enjoy doing. The strategic byproduct of that is I'm actually a pretty good reader now. I can get through a book to 2 books a month quite easily. And you asked me that 5 years ago, couldn't do it. The benefit for you to focus on your strengths will allow you to build momentum in your life. If you're continuously trying to fix a bunch of weaknesses, you'll just end up with a bunch of mediocre skills in your life. But if you sit down and actually think about the subjects and skills that really, really interest you and the strengths that you have, you'll probably find that the things that you're really strong at are also things that you're really interested in. So spend more times in those areas, or try to find out where your strengths will fit in to a new area of learning or a new subject and try to attack it that way. I always think about, well, what are my strengths? What do I enjoy doing? And will that work with this role, project, job, etc.? Like, for instance, one of the reasons why I do videos is that I am a terrible writer. I'm very, very slow on a computer. I've not got great typing skills. I'm okay, I get by. I'm not like terrible. I'm not like a one finger puncher. I can get stuff done. But I would be a terrible blogger. I've not got great composition. I'm slow at typing, as I mentioned, and I haven't really got that fine detail to push through. However, I don't mind speaking in front of a camera. I don't mind standing in front of a crowd of 10, 15, 20, 100 people. In fact, I enjoy that. If someone was to hand me a bit of paper and say, go write out 1,000 words, an essay, I'd be like, oh my God, all right, I'm not doing that. But if someone handed me a bit of paper and said, talk about this subject to these 20 people in 5 minutes, I'd be like, okay, let's go. That would excite me. It's a challenge. I'm like, okay, what do I know about this subject? Well, can I put it into a quick little series of blocks to lead me into a little story that will allow me to talk about that for a while in front of these people? That excites me. I can already see myself doing that. But someone's asked me to write a blog post or 1,000-word sort of report on something. No, it's not me. It's not who I am. So am I going to spend hundreds of hours trying to get better at writing? No, I'm not, because it's not something I'm interested in. But can I spend more hours learning about the art of public speaking and learning about the art of video making or presenting to people? Yeah, I'll do that, because I already have a natural inclination towards it, and I already have a natural ability to do it. Am I good at it? I don't know. It's up for people listening to me to decide on that. But do I enjoy doing it? Yes. Do I consider it a strength? Yes. So that's why I try to focus on my strengths now rather than my weaknesses. Focusing on my strengths gives me energy, allows me to move forward, and it has the strategic byproduct of actually making me better in different areas by focusing on my strength, or like focusing on my weaknesses. All that ever does to me is slow me down, make me more frustrated, and just piss me off. So why do it? There is no point in doing it. That's it from me this week. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you can focus more on your strengths. Please go ahead and hit the like button if you find this video useful, and also don't forget to subscribe, because my mission here is to deliver you bite-sized videos every week, helping you start your journey of success. Thanks very much for watching. Hope to see you next week. And as always, make it a good one.